Do you have a relatively peaceful life? A stable mental state? Maybe a little too much free time after work or school and a functioning nervous system? Well, don't worry. There's a guaranteed way to ruin all of that in under 20 minutes. Just boot up Heroes Evolved, hit the solo queue ranked button, and get ready to have your sanity, your patience, and your will to live absolutely violated. Because let's stop pretending this is just a struggling game. Heroes Evolved isn't just dead. It has officially transformed into an unsupervised psychiatric ward. Between developers who treat balance like a cruel social experiment, a matchmaking casino designed to punish anyone with a positive win rate, and an in-game system that literally protects the most toxic, brain-dead griefers on the server, loading into this game today is basically an act of self-harm. If you hate yourself enough to still be playing, or if you're somehow morbidly curious about why the servers are burning to the ground, grab a chair. Let's strip away the filter and look at how the MOBA with the highest potential turned into the ultimate waste of oxygen simulator. Now, before some 45% win rate animal types in the comments, who is this random crying about the game? Let's get something straight. Am I just some random? Yeah, basically. But I'm also a random who wasted so much of my life in this dumpster fire that I know exactly where every single body is buried. I'm the guy who took top 1 4 different times, back when the ladder actually had real players and meant something. I took top 2 and 3 twice, and sat in the top 10 more times than I can even count. Pretty much my default state whenever I hated myself enough to waste my time in this game. I've played and won both the official brackets organized by developers themselves and community tournaments, where you actually had to play a real 5 versus 5 instead of a 1 versus 9 daycare simulation. I dumped thousands of hours and thousands of dollars into this casino. Back when math hackers were infesting every single lobby, I personally recorded my own replays, sent the evidence to HelpShift, and got over 50 actual hackers banned with my own hands. I got constantly sniped and hunted by obsessive low-IQ haters who still cry in chat that I use a math hack to this day. And the ultimate punchline? I ended up getting my own account permanently banned for map hacking over a lucky blind skill shot in the fog of war, with zero chance of an appeal from these useless developers. So no, I am not flexing my stats. Bragging about your rank in Heroes Evolved is like bragging that you're the smartest patient in a psychiatric ward. It's not a flex, it's a cry for help. I'm just telling you, I've reached the absolute top of the mountain in this game, and I can confirm firsthand that the peak is made of pure, unadulterated garbage. If you still queue up for ranked Heroes Evolved solo, I genuinely don't know whether to respect your sanity or ask if you enjoy psychological torture. Because let's stop sugarcoating it. The competitive integrity of this MOBA isn't just dead, it's decomposing in a dumpster. Between changes that literally protect griefers, a balance team that operates on pure hallucinogens, an endless flood of skins for dead-ass heroes nobody plays, and a matchmaking system that pairs absolute gods with literal garbage, this game has turned into a waste of oxygen simulator. Let's start with the 2 absolute worst options ever coded into a MOBA, the ability to hide your flag and hide your matchmaking status. Whoever approved these settings deserves a permanent ban from game development. In a normal competitive game, if somebody is a known troller, a serial inter, or a brain-dead feeder who goes 0/15 every single match, the community adapts. You check their history, you recognize their profile, and you dodge the lobby. But what did NetDragon do? Instead of banning the toxic garbage ruining games, they handed them a witness protection program. Now you can't see who you're queuing with. You can't check if your carry is on a 10-game losing streak running disco feed builds. You can't dodge the absolute waste of oxygen griefers because their status is completely masked. And it gets worse. Hiding matchmaking status means you can't even tell when you're getting queued into sweaty, no-life duos and parties, while your team is a bunch of uncoordinated randoms. Even worse, it protects math hackers and snipers. When a cheater can hide their history and stats, tracking their win rate or reporting their suspicious 98% win streak becomes 10 times harder. Those 2 options didn't protect player privacy. They literally protected the scum of the server and ruined solo queue forever. Next up, let's talk about the absolute joke that is hero balancing. I'm convinced the balance team doesn't even play Heroes Evolved. Their idea of reviving a dead hero is cranking their numbers so astronomically high that they become a walking cheat code. They give them brainless mobility, absurd one-shot damage, and 0 cooldowns, just so they can sell a shiny new skin or force them into the meta. And what happens? That hero immediately becomes permabanned and ranked. Nobody even gets to play them. For an entire month, that hero sits in the ban jail every single lobby. Then, the second the sales drop off, the devs hit them with the nerf hammer so hard they drop straight back into total garbage tier. Meanwhile, they are constantly buffing heroes that are already broken, while nerfing heroes that were barely hanging on. And let's not forget the dead hero graveyard. There are heroes in this game that have been so fundamentally weak and outclassed for years that picking them in ranked is basically declaring you're throwing the match. No reworks, no quality of life buffs, nothing. Just radio silence. Which brings us to the meme hero in Heroes Evolved, Magnolia. Let's be real. Magnolia is a dead-ass borderline useless hero in the current competitive meta. Nobody with a functioning brain picks Magnolia when you actually want to win a high-ranked game. So what does the dev team do? Do they balance the dead heroes? Do they give skins to the characters that have been starving for our cosmetics for 3 years? Hell no. They sit in their boardrooms like, our servers are dying, our balance is trash, and nobody plays Magnolia. I know. Let's release another set of 4 ultra-expensive limited edition skins for Magnolia. She literally has like 20 skins. You can dress her up as a plum blossom, a marine monarch, a ballerina. You can dress her up as whatever the hell you want, but she's still garbage. Stop making runway outfits for a hero nobody plays. Now, let's look at the absolute disaster that is high-tier matchmaking. In what universe is it acceptable for a sweaty, no-life Palladium duo sitting on 300-plus stars to get cued into or matched up with literal diamond players? Let's be brutal here. The skill gap between a 300-star Palladium veteran and a standard diamond player is the difference between an esports pro and a toddler with a touchscreen. To a 300-star Palladium, a diamond player is literal trash. They don't look at the mini-map, they don't know when to rotate, their macro is room temperature IQ, and they get farmed like lane minions. When the game forces those 2 ranks into the same lobby just to find a match, it's not competitive. MOBA gameplay anymore. It's a slaughterhouse that wastes everyone's time. And finally, the cherry on top of the dumpster fire, the player base itself. Because when the devs don't care about balance or moderation, the servers turn into an asylum. Every single solo queue match feels like a 1v9. You aren't just fighting the enemy team, you are actively fighting your own brain-dead teammates. I'm talking about the ego-fragile clowns who give up first blood at minute 2, type GG trash team in chat, and immediately sit AFK in the fountain moving just enough to dodge the disconnect timer. I'm talking about the intentional feeders who run down mid because somebody took their jungle buff. I'm talking about the stream snipers who literally watch broadcasts just to queue snipe and throw matches on purpose. When a MOBA protects its trollers with hidden flags, ignores its cheaters, breaks its meta every 30 days, and rewards its most loyal players by pairing them with 0 IQ griefers, it doesn't die by accident, it commits suicide. Heroes Evolved didn't just fall off, it was driven into the ground. Now let's talk about the so-called punishment tab and the integrity system, which has to be the most hilarious, spineless joke in modern MOBA history. Let's say you get an absolute waste of oxygen on your team, a guy who goes 0/8/2, 1/13/2, or 0/11/1. He spends the entire match walking down lane like a headless chicken, feeding the enemy carry until they're 3 levels ahead and 2-tapping your entire backline. What is his punishment for wasting 25 minutes of 4 people's lives to match the already ruined, miserable life that he has offline? He gets no punishment at all, or if the system is feeling extra generous today, a devastating deduction of 3 integrity points. 3! Oh, the humanity. How will he ever recover? Oh wait, he literally recovers it in a few minutes. He doesn't get locked out of ranked. He doesn't get a matchmaking ban. He just queues right back up to ruin another lobby. And what if a brain-dead troller straight up leaves the game? What happens when somebody rage quits at minute 3 and leaves you in a 4 versus 5 slaughterhouse? Shockingly, 6 integrity deducted. Wow, round of applause for NetDragon. Now that animal has 94 integrity, and guess what? He can still play the very next ranked match with 0 restriction. You could literally go AFK, go eat dinner, come back, and queue straight back into high-tier ranked like nothing happened. The system isn't punishing trollers, it's practically paying their rent. And because the punishment system is a complete joke, ranked draft has turned into a hostage negotiation. We've all seen this exact specimen. A low IQ animal wants to first time the brand new hero that just launched straight into a competitive ranked lobby just so he can get farmed like a cannon minion and end the game 2/10/1. But what happens if you actually want to win, so you ban that new hero so your team doesn't have to carry dead weight? He immediately throws a toddler tantrum. Because you didn't let him ruin the game on the shiny new release, he troll picks Minerva or Fauna, locks in some garbage spell, and spends the next 20 minutes feeding like the absolute piece of trash that he is, making sure his in-game KDA matches his garbage, miserable real-life existence. And remember, when the match ends, he loses 3 integrity and queues right back up. Now, let's talk about how this trash algorithm rewards you if you're actually good at the game. Let's say you're a legitimate god on the server, you have the highest win rate, your macro is clean, and you are the MVP in 90% of your 1 matches. You would think a modern matchmaking system would pair you with competent human beings, right? Wrong! Your reward for being the best player on the server is getting assigned as the daycare teacher for the special needs ward. The algorithm looks at your 90% win rate and says, he can carry anything, so what is your team? 2 low IQ Electrums who instantly first pick Fauna and Sprite Flame and fight over the same lane. One fake Palladium with 0 stars who barely crawled out of the mud after 1,500 games with a 45% win rate. A guy who has played for 3 years and still doesn't know what a ward does. Days. And the cherry on top, a Diamond 4 player who is last pick, sees the team desperately needs a frontline tank and instantly locks in a 4th squishy carry because he has no clue what the word tank even means. So, how do you actually win a game of Heroes Evolved in this state? Easy. You just have to 1. Overfarm the entire enemy team by double or triple their gold. 2. Never die even a single time because the second you die, your team will wipe instantly. 3. Push every single tower yourself while your team is busy fighting jungle camps. 4. And drop a 20 to 30 kill bomb just to keep the game from ending at minute 10. And after sweating your absolute mind out for 25 agonizing minutes, carrying these animals across the finish line like your literal Noah building the Ark, what is your grand reward? You get 1 legendary bonus star. You go from 200 stars in your collection to 201. But here's the ultimate slap in the face. Your MVP score was higher than your entire team's combined scores. Yet, guess what? The AFK animal troller who went 0 out of 11 and sat in the fountain gets that exact same star too. He gets a free win, 0 integrity deducted, and the exact same reward as the guy who just played like an esports world champion. Enjoy your +1 star, Noah. You earned it. And don't worry, if you thought the 25-minute psychological torture session was over, just hit Q again. Because thanks to those brilliant hidden flag and hidden matchmaking status options we talked about earlier, you can't see who you're matching with. So those exact same low IQ animals will be right back on your team in the next lobby, and you won't even know it until the loading screen pops. Yippee! Meanwhile, who is on the enemy team? Oh, just a casual duo or a 4-stack of Palladiums with 1,000 stars combined sweating and voice chat. So there you are, sitting on 200 stars, trying to fight a coordinated 1,000-star death squad, while your team consists of a trio of Electrums whose combined IQ barely reaches 36.6 degrees, which is literally the normal human body temperature they're sadly operating at. Honestly, it should have been room temperature. At least then they'd be cool while they feed 0 over 15. No real punishment for griefers, 0 protection for solo players, an algorithm that punishes high win rates by giving you literal bots for teammates, and a reporting system that hands out -3 integrity points to people who actively ruin matches. Heroes Evolved didn't die because players got bored. It died because NetDragon built a paradise for trollers and a hell for anyone who actually wanted to win. You know, a MOBA is completely irredeemably dead when the online population is so non-existent that you aren't just playing against the same meta heroes, you are literally playing against the exact same 5 sweaty, no-life enemies game after game after game. The matchmaking pool is so dried up that the server is basically just you, a Discord stack of basement dwellers, and 12 brain-dead animals rotating between lobbies. And how does the non-existent balance system handle this ghost town? Let's look at the math. You queue up as a solo Palladium, the enemy team, a coordinated 4-stack of Palladiums plus 1 Electrum. But hold on, that Electrum isn't a normal player. That's a Smurf account belonging to a 100-star Palladium veteran who got so sick of the garbage balance, the brainless matchmaking, and the devs releasing Magnolia's 24th skin that he made a Smurf just to stomp solo queue lobbies. Enemy team, 4 sweaty Palladiums plus 1 Smurf god. TAC. Your team, 3 drooling Electrums plus that exact same 1,500 game, 45%. Win rate fake Palladium from your last match. And who do you get? You get 3 Electrums who don't even know what a minimap is, plus guess who's back? That exact same 1,500 game, 45% win rate fake Palladium from your last match. You are trapped in an endless loop of playing 1v9 against the exact same Discord squad, while NetDragon recycles the same low IQ garbage into your team. Party. But wait. After hours of psychological torture, the matchmaking gods finally throw you a bone. You load into the lobby, you look at the enemy team, and you see him, Colapito, the absolute trash tier troller who was on your team last game. The guy who locked in Asura played like he was using a USB steering wheel and went 1 out of 11 while crying in chat. You think to yourself, finally, free stars. This potato-brained animal is on the enemy team now. It's my turn to farm. Wrong, because Colapito has a toxic vendetta, and the second he sees certain country flags on your team, like Russian flags, his single brain cell activates God mode. Does he suddenly develop mechanics? Does he learn how to play the game? Hell no, he just locks in kowtow. Because in Heroes Evolved, you don't need hands, you don't need a brain, and you don't need IQ when a hero is designed by chimpanzees. He clicks 1 button, gets 4 solid seconds of literal invincibility, and dishes out enough absurd, overtuned damage that even a brainless 1/11th Asura feeder can walk straight through your turrets, wipe your 4 drooling Electrum teammates, and let his sweaty team carry him to a win. One game, he's a 1/11th griefing waste of oxygen on your team. The next game, the dev-approved balance code turns him into an unkillable raid boss against you. Now, I know what you're thinking. Surely if someone is toxically flaming, feeding 1/11th, and ruining games, the devs will step in and punish them. Oh, absolutely. NetDragon is on the case. If you ruin a match, feed intentionally, or rage in chat, they will hit you with an astonishing 7-day mute and a devastating 20 integrity deduction. 20 integrity. Wow, call the police. Do you know what a 20 integrity penalty actually means in Heroes Evolved? It means that Animal gets sent to play against AI bots for 2 hours, which is literally where his gameplay belongs anyway. He spends 2 hours clicking on bots, restores his integrity back to 100, and comes straight back to ranked to ruin another 100 matches for normal human beings. And the best part? The system won't even flag him again the same day, or the same week. He can ruin your games for 2 solid weeks before the algorithm even considers deducting another meaningless 20 points. And if you try to take matters into your own hands and report these math hackers, trollers, and feeders to HelpShift, the official support system, get ready for the biggest middle finger in gaming. You can send them screenshots, video clips, match IDs, and essays detailing how a guy intentionally walked down mid-15 times. And what do you get back from HelpShift? You get the legendary automated PR copy-paste. We are deeply sorry about your inconvenience, dear player, but unfortunately, visual, a translator pop-up box appears over the email text. Original text. We are deeply sorry about your inconvenience, dear player, but unfortunately we are unable to verify the intentional disruption. Real translation. We do not give a flying F about you, your games, your time, or your feeders. Keep buying Magnolia skins and go for yourself. That is literal trash. Zero support, zero moderation. You are talking to a brick wall that exists solely to close support tickets and protect the animals, keeping their queue times under 10 minutes. But here's the absolute climax of the Heroes Evolved circus. How they treat the cheaters versus how they treat their actual loyal veterans. While literal math hackers and 0/15 trollers run free with hidden flags and 20-point bot farm penalties, what happens to the legitimate players who have dumped thousands of hours and thousands of dollars into this garbage heap? They get permanently banned from math hacking over a single lucky play. Imagine this, you're playing Arlequin. You fire your ultimate rocket blindly into the fog of war because you guessed where an enemy was recalling. You hit it twice, you get a lucky blind kill. A standard high IQ MOBA prediction. Some salty enemy reports you and NetDragon's automated garbage bin bans your account permanently. Thousands of dollars? Gone. Thousands of hours? Gone. And don't you dare think you can appeal it. There is literally no chance for an unban. It doesn't matter how much proof you bring. You can show them full stream VODs, you can show them eye tracker recordings, you can send them 500 hours of gameplay proving you're clean. If you don't have a 4K frame-by-frame recording of your monitor and mouse inputs for that exact microsecond, you are done. They will protect a 1/11th Chow Chow troller with their lives, but they will execute a $2,000 whale over a blind Arlequin rocket without blinking an eye. Oh, and the cherry on top? Apparently, if you think that you are safe from bans if you are using an iPhone, well, of course not. You can be banned for math hacking even on iOS device, and more than that, apparently something new occurred. You can get permanently banned all your accounts for using a third-party app that you did not even know about. You've heard that right. Permanently banned all your accounts, Smurf, main, and so on, for a random reason like using third-party software. Legit player wasted thousands of hours and hundreds of dollars here. All gone and wasted in a matter of a second for all your accounts, hard work, and neurons that died. Again, no chance for unban, because why not? The new method to punish the poor Heroes Evolved players, thank you brain-dead developers, again. So let's recap the modern Heroes Evolved experience. You queue against the same 5 sweaty Smurfs. Your teammates are 36.6 IQ bot farmers. The devs balance the game by giving brainless heroes invincibility buttons. HelpShift tells you to go screw yourself politely, and if you make a good play, you lose your account forever. If you're still logging in after all of that, don't complain about the asylum when you're the one choosing to live in the padded cell. So let's take a step back and look at the absolute masterpiece of incompetence we've uncovered so far. To recap, NetDragon gave trollers and griefers a witness protection program by letting them hide their flags and matchmaking status. They balanced their MOBA by cranking new heroes into permabanned god mode only to nerf them back into the dirt a month later, while leaving 30 dead heroes to rot in a graveyard. They reward your 90% win rate by pairing you with a trio of 3 cockroach-brained electrums to face a coordinated 1,000-star Palladium Death Squad. If an animal goes 0/15 or rage quits, they lose 3 to 20 integrity points and go farmbot lobbies for an hour before ruining your next game. Meanwhile, HelpShift tells you to politely go screw yourself with automated copy-pasted PR garbage, and if you make a high IQ blind play with Arlequin, your account gets nuked from orbit without a single chance of an unban. And you think that's all? Oh, we're just getting to the punchline. While the competitive ranked ladder is literally burning to the ground, where's the development team allocating their time, money, and server space? That's right, they're pumping updates into adventure mode, a completely useless brain-dead PvE side mode that nobody asked for and nobody cares about. Do you know how many people actually play adventure mode? There's a massive dedicated fan base of barely 100 people, which, let's be honest, is a huge number. That's probably like 10% of the total Heroes Evolved player count right there. Why fix solo queue matchmaking or ban map hackers when you can cater to the 100 PvE Care Bears clicking on scripted AI monsters? And what about the competitive scene? What about official tournaments, developer-sponsored clan wars, or seasonal events with actual rewards to keep the community engaged? Literal zero. Not a single dime of prize money, not a single official competitive bracket. The devs abandoned esports completely. Do you know who actually had to carry the competitive spirit of this game? The Russian community? Dedicated Russian players literally had to dig into their own pockets to organize amateur tournaments with meager prize pools just to give players a reason to team up. They did it just so they could watch a real high-skill 5 versus 5 MOBA match for once in their lives, instead of the standard torturous 1v9 or 2v8 solo queue asylum where your teammates are actively sabotaging you. But from the developers, nothing. Zero engagement. The only events NetDragon knows how to code are gacha banners and premium skins that require you to swipe your credit card. It is genuinely sad. This game had the potential to be one of the greatest MOBAs ever created, but it was butchered by pure developer incompetence, and because apparently the devs' genital organs stand straight up at attention the second they look at Magnolia. They get so aroused by this useless, out-of-meta character that they decide to design another 10 skins for her, while completely ignoring how ranked is ruined, how hero balance is a hallucinogenic joke, and how AFKs, feeders, and map hackers are running around the server like they own the place. And whenever they do release a new hero, it's a predatory scam. Remember the 10 million green point secret shop hero? Chaos? They hyped it up as the ultimate prestige carry. Players literally spent real, hard-earned money just to farm the points and unlock it early so they could dominate ranked. And what happened? First, those paying players never even got to play it, because the hero was so absurdly broken that it got insta-locked and permabanned in every single draft. Then, the second NetDragon cashed their checks, they nerfed that hero into the dirt so hard that it was completely removed from the meta. Now, if you pick that 10 million green point hero in a ranked lobby, your own team will intentionally troll and feed from minute one just to speedrun the loss against the sweaty duo of 500-star Palladium no-lifers. You paid real money to unlock a hero that is now an automatic trigger for your team to run down mid. And here's the most heartbreaking part of this entire rant. Heroes Evolved actually has the best graphics, the smoothest mechanics, and the cleanest UI on the market. Furthermore, there are honestly no pay-to-win heroes. You can't just buy extra stats with cash. This game had the mechanical depth, the warding system, and the teleport plays to completely obliterate Mobile Legends and even rival League of Legends, Wild Rift. But instead of a competitive test of skill, NetDragon turned it into a purely luck-based casino. Your rank doesn't depend on how good you are. It depends entirely on whether the matchmaking slot machine assigns the 36.6 IQ Electromanimals to your team or the enemy team. So if your luck is terrible, if you want to waste years of your nerves, if you want to punch a hole through your monitor, and if you want to dump hundreds of hours and hard-earned dollars into a dumpster fire, come to Heroes Evolved. We are welcoming you warmly, but listen to me. Do not just uninstall and leave in silence, or please do it if you are a sweaty hands or brain-dead troller. Because if all the normal high IQ players walk away, the trollers, the Magnolia simping devs, and the zero IQ animals win. It is time to make their lives as miserable as they've made our solo queue experience. Take action right now. Spam the developers and flood Help Shift. Stop letting them close tickets with automated apologies. Start petitions to increase punishments by 10 times. We demand that a 0/15 feeder or an AFK troller gets a 100-point integrity wipe and a 7-day ranked ban, not a 2-hour bot farm vacation. Demand real hero balance and force them to release skins for the 30 dead, forgotten heroes who haven't seen a cosmetic in years. Stop the Magnolia fetish. Demand they bring back the Rakshasa Street anime collaboration and give us actual content worth playing for. Haha, nice joke. Will never happen, of course. And most importantly, flood their support lines with the IDs, video clips, and replays of every feeder, troller, and map hacker on the server until they are forced to do their jobs. Because if we don't force their hand and hold the studio accountable, Heroes Evolved will officially go down in history claiming the ultimate crown, the best potential MOBA, yet the worst MOBA ever created. Thanks, developers, and thank you, toxic community.